Hello and welcome to Miniature Realms, and welcome to my bolt action project vlog number 5. I'm just starting you off here with a very short shaky video that I took at Bovington Tank Museum when I was on holiday with the family a couple of weeks ago, and it definitely helped me decide what I was going to work on next in terms of painting for the bolt action project. So you see there pictures of a M3 Stuart tank, and I'm putting a few other images up now of things that inspired me at the time. It's full of, anyone who's been there will know, it's absolutely fantastic museum, full of wonderful tanks. It's pretty mind-blowing, and my wife, who's not into tanks whatsoever, and my little lads who probably weren't super into tanks either, were just blown away with it really, and great fun looking at all the things there. There's so much there, the sheer size of them, and the history. You walk into the museum, as you walk, you arrive at the Somme, and this kind of walk-through area. It's really fantastic, and it's so well done. Great value for a modern day museum attraction as well. Really cheap. So anyway, that's me waxing lyrical about Bovington Tank Museum. Absolutely fantastic. My first visit, loved it. We'll definitely go again. And it got me thinking about what I was going to paint next, and the plan was to paint a couple of my infantry sections, but I thought I painted some infantry last. I did the infantry painting guide as well. It'd be nice to paint something a little bit different, so I decided to work on my M3 Stuart, which is obviously slightly different from the M3A1 that was in the video there, but I thought it was a fun way to start the video off. Anyway, so what we'll do is we'll cut down to my desk now properly, and you can see what I've been working on. So when we were at the museum, I actually bought my son a very small tank model. It was about £4.50. I think it's 10mm scale. I think it's on the box, which is nowhere near me. We built it together. It was a snap together thing. We did glue it, and we did a little bit of painting. And he's 6, bearing in mind, but I wanted to show him the processes that I use in a simplified way. And he had a little go, and obviously it was quite hard to control the airbrush, etc. But we did with his tank everything we did on this. And he has a bit of fun with it, and we're going to get some more now, and he's going to have a go completely by himself. And I'm not going to show you his tank, it's not quite finished yet, and I haven't got permission from him to do so, but it looks like his dad's done it a little bit probably as well, but this is what I finished, and it came together relatively quickly. So this is the Warlord stroke Atelieri kit that I unboxed in a previous video. I've painted it in the counter screen, first time doing that. So I used the same standard scheme that I used on the truck that I've already painted. You've seen an earlier vlog, and then obviously I've added the other grey camo on top, and then the decals, etc. But I use the same processes, and this isn't a painting video. I will do a tank painting tutorial when I do my Matilda 2. I thought that would be something that it's a slightly larger tank, so it's easier to show you some of the processes and things. So I will, for anyone that's after a full tutorial of how I did this, I will be using exactly the same processes on the Matilda 2 coming up. I won't say soon, I'd say in the future, in a month or so maybe. I was going to treat myself and do that last, because it's not actually in the list that I wrote. Not that it really matters, I haven't got any games planned in, but I think it came out quite well. I didn't use the crew in it. The crew was just too small. Just looks odd. Now maybe this crew looks too big, but I've decided I'd rather have the crew match the size of the inventory that'll be on the table with them than the other way around. You may not like that. You may prefer to go more in scale with the tank, but it is what it is. But I use one of the prone firing figures from the British 8th Army kit. Cut his legs off. It doesn't matter that his tummy's a bit flat where he'd be lying on the floor, because it's hidden anyway, and then I've just used some other little bits and bobs. So we've got a hand there holding some binoculars. I think the binoculars are from the British Commando Sprue, I can't remember. That was a firing hand there, so it's not perfect in his right hand, but it looks like it's sort of resting down the side. So just using other bits from the kit, but Anyway, he looks like he's not out of place as a tank commander anyway, and that was the guide. And he's painted in the same scheme as my other British, and you'll have seen the painting tutorial for that as well. So yeah, let me know what you think. It's a very short update really, but because I had it finished and I haven't put out a vlog for a little while for the bolt action project, I thought I'd do it. I thought it was its turn to have a little bit of time on the channel, and let you know that I am still working on each of the projects that have appeared on the channel. I'll put up some stills for this as well, so you can have a little look at it without me getting my fingers in the way. But it was a fairly simple process, as I say, the same I used for the truck. So airbrushed, oil washes, some dust effects, and some weathering powders, just to add that sort of dusty desert look, and a few tiny little sort of rust marks and things as well. And I just enjoyed every moment of it. I absolutely love painting and weathering tanks. Very, very much in my comfort zone. And it's something I really enjoy. Then just moving away from the M3 for a moment, there's this monstrosity, and it is a monstrosity at the moment. So I've been, aside from obviously painting the miniatures of the army, I like to work towards a themed table. Now I'm using mats. I've got the Geek Villain mat. There's an unboxing or review video on the channel if you haven't seen it already. I have to use the mats because there's storage of boards and things like that, but they are absolutely beautiful. But I do like to have nice terrain to go on top of it. So there's also another review of the Renedra Afghan buildings that I'm going to be using. I think my next project is going to be to start painting some of that terrain. That always inspires me to go on and paint more miniatures afterwards. It's a good way of keeping the project rolling. I'm quite busy this month with work, and I find that when I'm very busy with work, which is painting miniatures, I'm a commission painter, is to paint some terrain. It means I get some hobby in, but it's nothing that's too taxing or takes too long. So I'm probably going to do some terrain. And I was looking at LLMA, and I was looking at the train station and things like that, and I thought it'd be a great table to have a train on. And I started doing a bit of research, and I got a friend who's got a hobby doing trains. If you go and check out his videos at the moment, Empress Path, he's just starting to get back into doing trains and things. So I asked him some questions about train scale versus sort of 28mm heroic scale miniatures, and the answers were expensive, I suppose. It's the simplest way of answering. The scale that they most match isn't the scale that's really made anymore, and definitely not used in the UK. And the range was just silly. So I was searching around on the internet trying to find a solution. All I really wanted was a track and an engine and maybe a couple of carriages, and I found a blog, and I will put up the pictures from that blog now, but it just was a bit of a lifesaver really. So this blog has found this brand of train set from Amazon of all places, and it seems to be fairly good sizing, and I'll just put a couple of images of that on the screen as well. And yes, it's ugly at the moment in time. If I turn the box slightly towards us, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but also once it's been sprayed and repainted and weathered to made loads of dust, very dusty and things, I think it will be perfect. So this will be an upcoming project, and I'll probably turn it into a video. I thought it'd be a really fun thing to do, to show you how I turn a child's toy into something that is suitable to be on a bolt action table as it is. So just a little teaser for the future there. That might not be the one I do this month. It may well be, probably do those paint up those Afghan houses, and that might be on the next video. But in a future video there will be turning this classic train set, cheap plastic train set, into something that will work on a bolt action table, and hopefully it'll come out quite cool. It does actually work with batteries. I'm not too worried if it doesn't work after I finish spraying it, but if it still does, then brilliant. But I'm not going to have it running around a circle on the table while I play. The track's going to go probably across the board diagonally. But anyway, if you are new to the channel because you've clicked on the thumbnail because you saw a bolt action tank, please do check out the other videos on the channel. There are 4 previous bolt action vlogs. There's a painting guide for bolt action inventory. There's some unboxings to do with bolt action as well. This is one of a number of projects I've got going on. I set up the channel this year to kind of be a home for all of my projects, anything that I wanted to put up. So it's not got a particular theme, the channel. It's very historical heavy at the moment, and that's because I play a Middle-earth strategy battle game as a big part of my hobby, and it has been my only hobby for a number of years before I started to get back into historical gaming, and that's got a home in a podcast I do called Out of the Frying Pan, and it does have its own little YouTube channel as well, which we occasionally put videos up. It's not actually as well supported as this one is now, but this has become a bit of a home for my historical stuff. But you will find some Middle-earth stuff on the channel as well, and there's Epic Battles ACW, so Warlord Games is new release this year. That's a large part of the channel. That was one of the things that got me back into historical gaming. And there's also a new Wars of the Roses in 10mm project, but there were new things coming all the time, depending on what period of history takes me. As I finish one project, I'll start another. So very much so a general gaming channel. Expect anything and everything on the channel, but you have a little look. There's lots of videos on there, painting guides as well. And if you like what you see, please do subscribe. It'd be good to have you along. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you soon.